Good morning, Tricky Lug. How's it going, everybody? Hope you have had a fun holiday weekend.
We have so far.
Yes.
And I'm on vacation. I'm going to take Monday and Tuesday off. I haven't had vacation in ages.
I know.
I know.
This is going to be very exciting.
Super fun.
Very, very exciting.
What are we doing? It's Sunday, right? We've already been to the store. We went out, right?
Yes, we went to the store this morning to pick up some things. Exciting. So we've got our whole
got the dog in the car. He had a big adventure, even though it was just the dog walk.
So I'm looking at the chat and I'm seeing that everybody is now making like superhero babies, and I feel like we're getting left behind, and we need to get on that. We need our babies. I think I'm gonna make
creepy baby.
Yeah. Oh, super creepy baby. Actually, yes.
We might. I think we're gonna.
I've got one. We have super creepy baby already.
What is that? Is that Voldemort?
Baby Voldemort. It's the
baby
best,
Voldemort.
It is the best baby.
But isn't he swaddled? Like, what kind of action can a swaddled baby get into?
It doesn't.
Maybe it
doesn't matter.
It could have levitation powers.
Maybe he has a creepy mech.
What, Baby Yoda levitates?
It's true. It's absolutely true.
He has a little help.
Yes, like actually, Brickany said that's exactly what I was going to say.
What's that?
Super creepy baby is the Voldemort baby. So
it's got to be, right?
It's too good. So anyway,
the mind is spinning already.
So hey, should we do our
Disney pins?
Disney pins for today? Awesome. Oh, actually, you know what?
What's that?
We have. I know
we have guests, right?
Minifigchick is in the waiting room, and I know she always has a Disney pin to share.
Well, she got us into trading.
Yes,
right?
It's true. Shane Levan, Super Tricky Baby, which is what I said right before the show started, and then Richard just came up with Super Creepy Baby. But, we should have two anyway, right?
You think so? We should have... They could have
one
adventures
each, right?
together.
I wish I knew where the Voldemort baby was, because I would show it to you, because it's amazing.
Well, it's on the Instagram in that
I've used it in several. I've used it several times.
His creepy sort of Addams family has adventures, and that was in one of them.
Yeah. So, hey, Big Screen Bird is here. How's it going? And you know what? I also realized, sorry, Minifigchick, just 1 second. We're going to say hello to everybody who's participating with us in the chat today. So Apples is here. Hey, how's
Apples.
it going? Big Screen Bird, welcome. Brickanista, Naomi, the creator of the Super Baby franchise.
Yes, Super Sewer Baby.
The Super Sewer Baby franchise. Bill Ward is here.
The one baby to rule them all.
Okay.
See, that was so nerdy on so many levels. At least two.
So Brickaroo Bonsai is here, Brickworm, Cornado, Hooded One, Insane Lego Fan, John Alexander, Lisa Head. Hi, Lisa. Marilyn Parmley. Hi, Marilyn. And Michelle Hanlane. Minifigchick and Moto are here, of course, and they'll be joining us on screen here shortly.
Remy Baker, Robert Zaccardi, Shane Levan. Hi, Shane. Steve Parmley is here. Hey, Steve.
Always good, Steve, to see you and the family.
Look at this. According to this,
and
here.
My mom just showed up.
Yay!
Bingo! Liz. There's one for your bingo card.
For everyone who, we didn't see you yesterday, so happy 4th of July as well.
Happy 4th of July if you celebrate that sort of thing.
Yes.
So, all right. So let's get Minifigchick on here so we can get her. This is your 1 minute call, Minifigchick.
Uh-oh.
Are you ready?
Rushing around, getting in place.
Okay, here we go. I'm hoping that our controls working better today than they have been in the past.
Fingers crossed. Look at that. Hello, ding dong.
So, I know there's a... Oh my goodness, that's right.
Look, we can actually listen.
I think we're trying to listen this time. And she's still connecting. I'm going to get the audio on here, so hopefully we can... Hi, how are you?
Good.
Oh, so we're hearing out there.
So we can hear you, but we can't see you necessarily.
I know, I'm having a little trouble here.
Oh my.
But nice sans serif font,
That's okay. We can continue to chat. Well, we'll show. How about we show our?
You show yours.
We're gonna show our pins first.
Yeah, we'll show our pins first, and then.
Oh, look who else is gonna be.
Whoa! Whoops! There we go.
There we go. I'm gonna show this one. This is a.
Oh,
is it autofocus today?
Howling at the moon.
Is it autofocusing today? I don't know. There it is, and it's a hidden Mickey pin.
Oh, very nice. All right.
I'm not quite sure what. I mean, I know what that means. People collect hidden Mickeys, right? They find them around the park.
So there's ones
Easter
built
eggs.
in the park. Yeah, there's ones built into the park, and then they started doing like a whole thing.
Of course. And that is extra cutesy Mickey.
So there we go. Yeah.
Oh, that
like
focused right away.
A little cutesy Mickey thing for today. I don't know. I wanted something cheerful.
Yep.
Goodness. All right. Well, let's see. That was Disney pins.
Ooh, I learned a lesson, everyone. I'm preparing this how-to for tomorrow, the lighting how-to, and it takes a lot of really fine little work. And I don't know if you find this when you do like little like 1x1 plates or whatever, but I usually need a little bit of fingernail. And I had this awesome idea since I'm on the web almost every day that yesterday I would do a home manicure, so I made them all impossibly short. So I'm having to use tweezers to do the stuff for the workshop.
Do the little part. Oh, I see. We have.
What's that? Oh, are you serious? This is awesome. Look who's coming. Hi.
There
Hi,
she
Cara.
is. Hello.
Hey.
Oh, and
Paint Pusher's
Paint
here
Pusher's
too.
here
We got them
too.
both. Wow. What is this you're working on?
Oh, it's
Visit you guys.
it's Minifigchick.
It's Minifigchick. That's too much.
Yeah, I just got a new webcam, but it's not playing nicely with Zoom, unfortunately. So.
Oh, yeah. That will happen.
Well, we get this sort of panoramic view of Mini squared. The mini. Does she have a cape? She does.
Of course, she has a cape. She's flying in.
Oh my goodness. Awesome. Let's All right, so we have someone else in the waiting room. I'm going to.
Who is this? I can only
imagine.
I have to guess.
I can only imagine who this could possibly be.
This has gotta be. Are we gonna see some Thunder Pants today?
Oh, I do have a pin too.
I really hope
great.
so.
And I do too.
Yay.
Oh, awesome.
In honor of fireworks.
Oh,
Look at that! It's all animated.
That's awesome.
I love fireworks at Disneyland.
Oh, here, hang on 1 second. Let me. There we go. You want to go ahead and show that again? I've got you on the big.
I have a new D23 pin, Bald Mountain.
Oh, nice.
Cool. Is that Chernobog up on top?
Yep.
Yep.
Very
Awesome.
nice.
Falling off.
Yeah, they do that. They tend to do that.
Well, you've got
nice.
a day at the beach.
You do have a day at the beach, and apparently a giant piece of paper has fallen onto the beach. I think we need to. We need to call the street sweeper.
Oh, thanks for showing that up close. That's cool.
Nice. That's awesome.
Look, with his arms crossed. So cool. He's not only coming out of the mountain, it's like he is the mountain.
Exactly.
That's
I love
so
it.
Cool.
I love it.
That scene used to be so scary to me when I was a kid.
Excuse me.
Me too.
From Fantasia, of course.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I see Thunderman is here, but I only see a white sheet, so I'm curious as to what is going to
I
happen.
feel like there's all kinds of shenanigans going on today. Uh-oh. Whoa! Are you kidding me? It's Thunderman!
Greetings, citizens.
All right.
How are you today?
That is so awesome.
It's Thunderman. We're doing
It is
great.
me.
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, thank you.
Oh, look at your Thunder Pants.
The Thunderwear is fun to wear.
So cool. It's like you're saving the day.
I always save the day for you, Flynn. Richard, sorry. It's hard to see with the thunder eyes.
I get...
Tony Danza's in the house.
Wow. Check out, you got a six-pack and lightning
Your Thunder
bolts.
Pants are amazing.
Thank you. My color is popping.
Holly, I hope you can see this right now.
Okay, for anyone
Hello,
who's
Citizen Holly.
unaware, this is Thunderman, and he was made by
Vincent,
right?
Holly's son. And I hope, Holly, that Vincent is in the room right now and can see this because this is amazing.
I wish he's still asleep. He was up so late last night. I can't believe he's doing this.
It's
Well,
Thunderman.
greetings, Vincent. He can watch
Although
the recording.
To be fair, I don't know if he would ever sleep again because this is the stuff of nightmares.
It's so awesome. I love the
Nightmares?
Thunderpants.
Oh
I
my
am Thunderman.
Oh my god, I'm dying in this right now. This is amazing. Okay. Okay, I've got it.
Everything is thunder. Even my shoes have thunder.
Uh-oh.
Everything. Thunder is everywhere.
We lost sound from Fletcher.
Oh my God. Yeah, Brickanista says you have to make appearances at future cons. You're literally going to have to wear this at every con from now on.
Oh my
I give
God.
that one thunderclap. Two thunderclaps.
What was that?
I said I
Oh,
almost
don't
fell out
injure
of my
yourself,
chair.
Richard. That would not be good. That would not be thundiferous.
Thank you for coming to our rescue this Sunday morning, Thunderman.
I am here to rescue anyone in need.
I'm worried about Flynn having a heart attack over here.
Are you okay, dear
what do
Flynn?
you
Do I have
think?
to fly over and save you?
Uh-oh. Oh, wait. Something's happening on the beach. What's going
Oh
on?
no.
What is happening, Minifigchick?
Uh-oh. Oh my God. These poor children are being threatened by this incoming wave of Mega Blocks.
I will be right there.
No.
Oh my goodness. Things are crazy today. What?
Oh, shut up.
Thunderman to the rescue. Let's get him. Take that, you measly little brick.
Thank goodness Thunderman is here to help.
Oh, it feels awful to touch that Mega Block. It's like kryptonite. It burns. Hey, hey. Ah,
Oh.
ow, my foot.
Thunderman, are you okay?
Yes, yes.
I'm
we're
okay.
back.
I'm back. I'm back in a thunderclap. Get it, Minifigchick.
Children,
Yeah,
you
get those.
are saved.
And you know what?
Yay.
Logan would be so proud.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
I
Oh,
think
man.
Shane Levan says that we've finally jumped the shark, and I think I just saw Thunderman jump the shark.
I jumped the Mega Block.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Oh no, we've only just begun to jump the shark. I'm just saying.
Oh, Brickanese. Right, you're right. The superhero theme just keeps going.
Oh my goodness, that was too good. Okay, so I know we said this already, but for those of you who are just joining us, so Thunderman, people send us fan art and stuff, and back.
You okay, Flynn?
Yes, back towards the beginning of the show, Holly's son Vincent made Thunderman on the Mighty Men and Monster Maker, which was like one of my favorite toys as a kid. And so we have Thunderman on our refrigerator, and so the people, the Tricky Lug members have named these the Thunder Pants, and he's sort of become a TrickyBricks meme.
I am not a meme, I'm a hero.
He's our mascot. Well, no, I guess Logan's the mascot. You're right.
Logan is the mascot.
Logan is the mascot, and he's a proud mascot.
Yeah.
I
Remy
see
Baker
people
says-
to thunderous applause.
Remy Baker says, DC executive frantically green lights project.
This Sunday, but I didn't think we would have superhero visitations.
I know. Shane, I will. Yes, you need to. I believe a Thunderman emoji is appropriate for the Tricky Leg AFOL Discord server. Like, absolutely a thing.
Well, I thought of Thunderman as just a mythological character, but we see he actually is.
It's a real thing. It's come to fruition. Oh man, Vincent is gonna lose it when he sees this.
I am real. I exist in the verse and in brick form.
Oh man. Oh my goodness.
I think I have to fly back to the normal world. Nice meeting you.
No one looks behind the bricks. Don't take a look behind the bricks over there. Oh my goodness.
Okay, I don't know how long y'all have had this planned out, but it's brilliant. This is the best thing I've seen in like 4 months. I can't even tell you. This was so good.
No one else but us knew about this.
Oh,
It's true.
oh my god.
My secret identity was concealed for the benefit of all.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That was amazing. Cheers to you and Thunderman. I'm so excited you're here joining us today.
It's always a pleasure to be here, Flynn.
Literally with arms akimbo.
Oh, thank you.
Thunderman is not a moderator. Thunderman is a hero.
No, yes,
Thunderman is a hero.
yes, it's true. And we have the we have lots of awesome mods, and Thunderman has joined us. So Thunderman, if you see Michael, please tell him that everyone appreciates his moderations.
And Minifigchick, thank you for hosting on your private beach too.
Anytime. It's the only kind of beach we can have these days.
So, well, speaking of beaches, everyone, while we're here talking about beaches, our weekly challenge for this week is the theme is fun in the sun. So you will make a as large as 32 by 32 base plate down to as however small you want, and just create a scene that means summer fun to you, or fun in the sun, or whatever. What would you do?
Just something positive,
something fun and cheerful, and maybe outdoorsy, or whatever you feel like. Maybe your son is sitting in a beam of sunlight reading a book. So
kind of your happy place.
Yeah, so those, of course, will be due on Thursday.
What
those
the
will
heck?
be due on Thursday.
Thunderman, recognize how important it is to protect ourselves from the sun, don't you?
Wear your sunscreen.
Got an umbrella now. He has an umbrella now.
You know, we wanted, haven't we? We've wanted, we've wanted guests. Of
a costumed nature.
Yes, if you will forgive us for saying of a costumed nature.
I'm serious. Like, I don't know that I could. This is too much. Yes, I wish I would have known. I don't know how I'm going to continue for today. I think we just might have to call it for now, because this is too much. It's like the shortest live stream we've ever done. 20 minutes. Thank you and good night. Because how are we gonna follow that up? Oh my god!
Wow, Thunderman is accessorized too. That cape. It's funny. The cape is almost like a vampire collar.
You should take the picture from your fridge and show everybody.
Yeah, we did, and we'll show it again. What happened to it?
Wait, here we go. With the
he does have the pop-up collar.
He has a super pop-up collar.
So
the only thing I'm missing today is my black robe of mystery. I left it at home.
Oh, that's
it goes
all
over
right.
the shoulder. Yes.
We'll forgive you this time. You have all the you're wearing the thunder pants, which is really the most important part, I believe. of the whole ensemble.
Well, who was it? Was it Coco Chanel? Who was it who said, no, who was it? You're going to laugh at me. Who said, I get myself ready in the morning, I put everything on, and then I take one thing off.
Oh, that's Coco Chanel, yeah.
See,
Chanel.
did I get that right?
You did.
I got it right. So you took off your robe of mystery.
Yes, it was one less accessory for the day is okay.
And we got to talk about Chanel.
Yeah, well, there you
Excellent.
go.
I must put my prop away. Are we
All
done
right.
talking about the sun?
Oh, yeah.
Very well.
And he
Okay,
Well,
so I just want to let everybody know I'm having to mute us every time someone else talks because it's echoing. Seriously, this is the stupid stuff. I'm sorry. I love computers, and I've been many years a Mac user, and now I'm on a PC with like the show and everything. And seriously, one day something works and the next day it doesn't work. And then there's like about 35 possibilities of ways to get there, and sometimes you have to do 3 of them. It's really kind of ridiculous. But yeah, we haven't been able to get the
headphones to work, but they used to.
again. Who knows?
Well, Holly, what have you been doing today?
I'm working on the Pirates of Barracuda Bay. I was just
jealous.
Yeah, I was just realizing.
I must see this.
Yeah, I'm at this point right now where I've got this portion of it built, and I'm wondering, like, now that we're talking about beaches and fun in the sun, I was like, oh, maybe I should just stop there and use this as a as a base, Well, that's just a part of it. I mean, I still have the other part that's like, that's the shipwreck part where this is starting to come together. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting build. It's heavy on the plates. I kind of wish I had one of those little mallets,
Scale of it is crazy. Is that based on the scale of the original model?
About right. Yeah.
Oh, it looks so big. It's
yeah,
cool.
the mast is really tall. I mean, there's like 20 of those 2x2 rounds, stacked here to build the mast up. So it's pretty darn tall. But that maybe, I don't know. I can get the other one and put them next to each other.
Oh, it was idle
Yes,
curiosity.
I want ship comparisons.
All right.
So far, I give that model 3 thunderclaps.
Oh, it's so dusty.
I'll be right back. I must look at this first more closely.
I'm gonna have to go lay down because I can't with this right now.
See, I think it's way taller. The mast is the boat is about, it's bigger. It's just bigger in general. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. It's bigger.
It looks really, but I love the sails. I don't know, red stripy sails have been like a classic for me ever since I saw the Ray Harryhausen Sinbad movies. Those ships always had like big red and white stripy sails, and man, I just loved those.
Classic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Did you know that there's? Oh, I think we've talked about this before actually.
What's
but
that?
There's a virtual. There's a virtual online.
It's swooshable.
There's a virtual online tour that you can take of a bunch of his old armature models that have been refurbished, and they look amazing. They have the Medusa one is great. Oh, well, now what's happening?
I can't see the model anymore.
All shenanigans.
Where did it go? Oh, excellent. Yes. Yes, so much detail. Yes. I love it.
That Tony Danza mask really is kind of frightening.
It really is.
Who's Tony Danza? This is Thunderman.
Oh, wait, Thunderman, can you get a little closer to the camera again? I didn't quite...
I know, right? It's terrifying.
Hello. All right.
I don't think I can do the rest of the show.
Oh, you're gonna be all right,
If you are in
Flynn.
mortal peril, Flynn, I shall leave.
No. Stay. This is like the best thing that's happened in a really long time. Oh my
Oh
god.
my god, you're
Oh, I'm
right,
so
Hooded
glad to
One.
put you
He's-
in good spirits.
Thunderman is obviously swooshable. He keeps swooshing offset and back.
Oh, I'm asking. We're being asked for Thunderman spotlight video.
All right, here we go.
Hello.
Yes, we thought that Hooded One. Yes, we thought it was going to be a calm Sunday stream. When we had a chat early, we were talking about how casual it was going to be.
It was. We had no idea. We're like, we'd have no idea what we're gonna do. We're just gonna blab.
And Shane Levan, yes, that is my joke always. Hold Me Closer, Tony Danza, sung to the tune of Tiny Dancer by Elton John.
It is true.
Hold me closer, Tony Danza.
First thing
Oh
I
my
thought of,
goodness. All right, let's get back.
I need to put my binoculars away. I've seen Holly's model.
Okay.
You know, there's Lego happening too. I'm trying to take apart this little Technic crane, but it's so solidly built. This 7 years plus old crane. It's so solidly built that I've had to really think hard about it.
Yeah, a Technic is the worst for trying to take apart. Like once you put a Technic thing together, it's like forget it. It's there for eternity.
I actually saw a couple of I can't demonstrate them right now, but I saw a couple of constructions with brackets and these little too long axles that you can put together that you can then never take apart. Like you just have to throw away the part or use it like that.
Yes, I see.
Rage too.
These are my thunder greaves. Uh-oh. You didn't see that.
We're driven.
Got a low roll there on your armor class.
Very
That
nice.
obviously needs more work.
Very impenetrable cuffs.
Minifigchick, you are a scamp as well.
A scam?
A scamp with a P. You're a caution.
A caution, yes,
Oh,
indeed,
yes.
because we love using
We do have
antiquated
fun around
words.
here.
Oh, so okay. Do you want to see something kind of after? Do you want to see something a little tragic? So I should be building right now, but I haven't. So because I just can't bear it.
Oh no!
Am I gonna? Should I take the camera
Yes.
over and show? Okay, so
No.
this happened during one of my classes last week, and I have yet to fix it
We're gonna
because
fix it 100%.
we're gonna fix it, but I just gotta show you.
Here's
I don't
the
know. Can
cable.
you see that?
Oh no!
What is it?
It's the Monkey King, Mac.
Oh no!
He fell off of the table and
all the way from here.
Yeah, all the way from up
Oh
there.
no!
So yeah, so now he's been sort of banished to the corner until I can
Yes.
sort of get it
Oh,
together to
dear.
put him back together.
I
Yeah, we
mean,
know-
knowing how many shiny gold pieces were in that set, I'm not sure if that was really an accident.
It's like, oh
Oops.
look!
Oh dear.
Hearts!
Oh dear. What will we ever do with the Monkey Kid Mac? I have no idea.
Put them back together, I bet.
Yeah, Thunderman could probably put that together quickly. I can put it back together. It's one of those things where, have you ever had that where like you just have a mock or a model break and it's too much
Where you
and you just
can't
can't
even-
bear it? I'm like, I can't even look at that right now.
Yeah, I just put one back together this weekend actually. Where is it? It's right next to my Apocalypse Bird. So that one, the bounty, what is it? something bound. Destiny's Bounty.
Destiny's Bounty.
Yeah, that one got busted when we hired movers to move. That was like, I had my old Lego room or whatever. It was like I went in there and it had been up on a shelf, and obviously somebody had bumped it, and it just was like in 1,000 pieces, just sitting on the floor. And they didn't even mention it. They just left it. I was like, oh, well, I guess that'll go back together. No big deal. So I spent a good like half a day trying to put that one back together.
I know what you mean, Holly. I had the juniors set kid version of that. It's called Destiny's Child, and it broke into 10 pieces. It was awful. Absolutely a nightmare.
Destiny's Child.
I know. So Minifig Nick is here, and Shane Levan says that I made a big mech on the floor.
Oh, you need to go clean up your mech.
And Minifig Nick says that he's been monkeying around too much. It's on fire today. It's on fire.
See what happens.
I'm gonna give that one thunder snap.
Thunder snap.
Oh.
Though, this monkey kept falling off, and Holly, you saying your model breaking, and the fact that you can put it back together, I feel like I've moved up in the world a little bit in sanity in a tiny way that hopefully offsets all the rest. Over here, you can see behind started projects and all that, there's a light bulb cabinet that has light bulbs that go back to Edison originals in the 1800s. And we live in earthquake country. And can you think of a more fragile hobby than collecting light bulbs and trying to have them still work? So now our stuff can break and we can put it back together.
Yes. That looks very fragile.
Oh my god. Thunderman is like your kryptonite, Flynn.
But like the green, what is it? Like the green, or no, the red kryptonite, the better one, whatever the good one is. Yellow kryptonite, I don't know. Oh, but
this reminds me of like a college project we did, and it was like a film class, where we had to all make our little group film projects that we worked on, and we made one where the title was, because it was an ongoing joke, the title was, and then Zeus walked in, because that was like the punchline. Like if we were ever at a party or something and we were having a conversation that just kind of tailed off and nobody really knew what to say, then you would just always interject with, and then Zeus walked in, and then that would then go into like another story. You would just start making up stories about like what happened when Zeus walked in. So that was our film project. We basically filmed a whole, like, what kind of party it would be if then like Zeus just all of a sudden walked through the door.
Did you know Zeus is my uncle?
I had a feeling.
He's the god of thunder. Yes, I know him well.
Feeling very familiar.
Kind of a strange guy. Hangs out with a weird crowd.
He is. Yeah.
We used to do a lot of theater at this place. I think Flynn more than me, called the Hypnodrome. I'm sorry.
That place.
And it was a very low-tech theater in that it used a lot of old theater technology, and whenever they had lightning and thunder, they had behind the audience, they had big sheets of metal that they would roll back and forth. It was great, and there was lots of thunder.
Oh, it looks like Paul Sinison's here. Hey,
Paul.
Hello,
we've
Paul.
also got, I see Minifig Nick is here. I think I said
Hello,
earlier, I wanted to say hello.
Hi there.
Insane Lego fan has shown up. Like, oh my goodness.
Greetings,
So many.
citizens.
For anyone who's joining us late, the mythological
Not so
Thunderman
mythological.
is
No longer
actually not mythological. He's
Mythological?
real.
I'm right here. I can hear you.
So,
Well, we didn't know.
so what I
The
wanted to...
legendary. It's now the legendary Thunderman.
Oh
The legendary
no!
Thunderman.
Now there's
What's happening? There's a wormhole in time.
this
It's
is
magic.
has got to go down.
Places at once.
So I wanted to, real quick, I did want to say while
Please.
Richard was talking about the light bulb cabinet, it reminded me that tomorrow's live stream, Monday, whatever it is, like we usually, Monday how-tos, is Richard's going to be talking about how to light your mocks. So it's going to be, should be a really fun show that you're probably definitely going to want to check out. He's got a bunch of stuff all set up to show how you can light them from the inside, different kinds of lights, and how to hide wires and all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, not so much big outside lights for photographing your mocks as how to work lights into them.
So that should be oh. Whoa! Is that what it's going to?
In my lamp of destiny, Richard.
Wow, that almost looks like a carbide lamp, but it's all like fancy.
I would turn it on, but it would incinerate everyone in the chat.
Oh. Lightning.
How you cue lightning? It's like your
it's
lamp.
How I trap lightning in a bottle.
Lamp of lightning.
Right there.
Anyone here ever collect lightning bugs as a kid?
Did
you
yeah.
do that?
Oh, definitely.
Did you make a magic lantern by collecting lightning bugs?
Yes.
Of course.
Awesome,
I
right?
did, but I used thunder bugs.
I bet thunderbugs are really loud.
You can't even imagine. That's why I can't turn this on. It would incinerate all of you.
Oh my God.
In fact, I should put this down. It's very, very precious to me. I'm looking forward to the show.
Oh man.
I know something more
I am never gonna. This is like yes. You know,
something more fragile than collecting light bulbs though is collecting tube amps. So I've discovered.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What's that?
We have a 60s Fender cabinet that's busted. So.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, sometime I'll show a couple of my kooky light bulbs.
Yeah,
there. I was so into it and just spent all this time and just care. And now this is so much easier in a sense.
So I'm curious to know from everybody who's here, although I don't know if we're ever going to get tethered back to Earth at this point.
I'm not sure.
I'm curious how being at home these past months has affected your building. Have you done more building or less building, or have you made more mocks or different ones? I know for us, we normally build mocks and not sets, but because of the stream, we've built more sets in the past 4 months than we've probably ever built collectively in our 5 years in the hobby.
Well, we've also been doing small mocks for the challenges, which are I think are stretching us outside of our comfort zone. Where normally, since January, we would have been working on our big convention piece.
Yeah. So what about you, Holly? What has your building experience been like during all this?
I don't know, man. I'm curious to see how this quarantine has affected Moto. I wish
I don't know. I'm not sure where he is today. It's curious.
Starting to worry about him. But anyway,
him and Thunderman around at the same time.
Oh man.
This is not the mod you're looking for. Ignore the mod that's not here. Ignore.
All right. So for me, yeah, probably the same. I'm focusing more on sets because we've moved into this new place and I've got a huge backlog that's taking up, those big boxes are taking up a lot of space. So I'm really focused on kind of getting through that inventory and building sets and kind of filling out my display areas in here. So it's kind of nice, actually. It's nice, like, not having the con pressure on me right now. And I've got the ideas thing kind of set aside. I can't do anything more with that. So yeah, this is actually, it had been two years since really I had built any sets. So it's kind of nice and meditative and therapeutic, and I'm discovering new pieces and new techniques and just kind of enjoying that as much as I can, interjected with a little bit of trying to still be creative, I guess. Yeah, so it's nice to have, the build challenges in there, although I feel like it's kind of a weird thing with being still sort of in lockdown mode, where I always feel like, kind of like when it's always sunny in Southern California, where you feel like any day you could go out and enjoy the day, and then a lot of people don't, because it's like you can do it any day, right? Or you never visit the landmarks where you live because you're like, oh, I could do that anytime, and so then you don't. So it's kind of like that
Oh,
too,
you
where,
get
like,
visitors, right?
yeah, exactly. So it's like, yeah, you know, I could always like build a mock next week, and then weeks go by and you realize like, oh, I should probably, you know, I need a little bit of motivation. That's kind of what those cons, the conventions do, is give me that kind of goal where I really need like restraints and deadlines and parameters there. I don't know. I just don't do it.
Me too.
And then of course the you know, the kids always being around and like not really having a routine either, right? My work schedule's down. It used to be more of a routine thing that I would come home from work and kind of make dinner, and then like once I was with dinner and getting up and getting ready for bed, then I kind of had my build time. But now it's just kind of intermittent throughout the day, so I don't have much of a schedule for building anymore. Crazy.
Shorter attentions. I feel like I have a shorter attention span. Like the con gives me a long-term goal that's like 5 or 6 months down the road, and then I'm just immersed in the project for that whole time. And now I'm just like, oh, let's think about this or what? Oh, this, you know?
Yeah, and we
small things.
Yeah, and we also, you know, like right now we would have been prepping for Lego House and Scareback, right? So and now that's been put. So now that's like a year and a half away, and it sounds so far away that I can't like. Right now I just can't go. Oh, I really want to. You know, like this is something I really want to work on right now, but I've been enjoying sets myself, but I found that a lot of the sets that I'm doing are a lot of the sets that I'm doing are for the stream, or for the stream, or for like a review for Brothers Brick or whatever. And I keep saying to myself like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, I have that Hagrid's hut that I've been wanting to put together, and I was like, this one's gonna be for me. I'm just gonna like, put it together, and then it never happens. So
time is a funny thing. You know, you would think it would. You have all the time in the world. I feel like I have no time at all anymore, because I think it's because of just those constant distractions where I don't have the same kind of time to like sit and focus on any one thing, because I'm constantly like dealing with, you know, the kids or other things that need my attention while we have that time available. It's like we're trying to cram so much in that we end up like spreading so thin. We don't really have an abundance of time for any one thing.
Well, that's something, and we don't have kids. We have lots of things drawing on our attention, but we don't have that. So I gotta say, I don't know exactly.
We have all of you.
I don't know what that's like exactly, but something that's really surprised me is for many years, like for the last 20 years, I've wanted to have just like 3 months in a cabin in the woods with nothing but a bunch of books. No electronics, no nothing. And we've had 3 months in a cabin, but I've lived on the web. I've lived electronically. It's weird. We have all this time, but I don't have that like books in a cabin kind of feel about it.
Yeah, this is not a vacation. I kind of have to keep reminding myself that this is not. I'm not in vacation mode at all. It's not what this is. This is survival.
How about, what do you think, Minifigchick or Moto?
Yeah, well, I don't know where Moto is, but
there's cookies involved.
But Minifigchick.
Oh, I want cookies.
Oh, is it that time? Oh my goodness. Okay, gosh. Well, I didn't realize. Let me we'll get ourselves ready here.
Right
Everybody
there.
ready. It's about that time of the day.
Oh, Holly.
Skittles. Oh, Thunderman, you have... He
has a Thundercat.
Thundercat.
I love the Thundercats. That's a secret. I love Thundercats. And it looks like
have to
Paul
go to the
Logan.
thing.
So she's going to bounce up real quick.
Good kitty. Good kitty. Yes. Yes.
All right, here we go, everybody. It is that time of the day. Here he is. Hooray, Logan. Thunderman's got a Thundercat.
Yay, Thundercat. Everyone gets cookies.
Good
See,
kitty.
Logan?
Oh, yay.
Good boy.
Yes.
Skittles. Okay, let's see if we can catch. Good boy.
Yay, yay, Skittles. Hi, Skittles.
And our moment of happy sound.
Yay!
Good boy, Logan. Skittles. Skittles is ready for cookie time.
Yeah, I think yes. Well, I love that I get messages from people sometimes that tell me that their pets now know the song, like know the music, the cookie time music, and so we've trained a bunch of people's dogs to want cookies when they hear that song. Oh, Skittles! That's like the calmest I've ever seen Skittles. What's going on?
That time, all or nothing. That's all you get.
She's settling into.
Good to see you, Citizen Skittles.
Okay, let's hear from Minifigchick. What has your building been like kind of during all of this?
I've been buying more Lego.
Indeed.
No, I'm not spending money on gas. Not going out and spending random money on Starbucks or whatever. So I've been buying a lot more Lego.
Well,
the building has been about the same, I think. And the last couple weeks and this coming week, really, I have to buckle down and finish my Dr. Seuss mock for Bricks by the Bay, which is next Saturday, kids.
Join us for Bricks by the Bay. We're going to be there.
Yeah, there's going to be there's going to be some workshops. I know Minifigchick, you're doing a jewelry workshop.
I'm doing an all ages, very simple things that you can do with some pretty inexpensive things from Amazon and just some nice little techniques to make your own jewelry. So and we've got a lot of other workshops going on. So go to bricksbythebay.com and hopefully we'll see you on Saturday.
Yeah, we are also doing at 5 o'clock on Saturday. We're doing a panel discussion with some of the other Lego Masters are going to be there. We're going to kind of just talk about like how we went from being an AFOL to being on a TV show all of a sudden, and kind of like what that experience was like. And then making you sit up there. And then I know Mark will be joining us. Jessica will be joining us. Corey will be there.
Crystal,
and maybe some others. I still haven't heard back from everybody, but there will be a bunch of people there. And then there's going to be, so it's like a 2-hour thing, and then there'll be like an hour of Q&A afterwards. That kind of thing.
And that's our home convention. That's where we first became AFOLs, right?
Yeah, that's where we first became Flynn and Richard, inseparable. Like people are one person.
We met Minifigchick and Paint Pusher as maybe two of the first people we met in the Lego community, and they were so warm and welcoming. And we were like, "What is this?" We were ready to play video games in our hotel room. We had no idea what we were doing.
Did they know?
Well, which is part of why I chose the subject of like how we got from where we started to being on Lego Masters, just because it is our home convention and it seems we know pretty much everybody
because they knew us when we did our first mock.
Exactly. So I thought that would be fun, and I'm interested to hear also what other people's experiences were like, because even though we have a lot of interaction with each other, the Lego Masters, I don't know that any of us have ever really discussed what our we can't discuss specifics of the audition process, but basically just the how to get from here to there. And I haven't heard that from any of those other people, so I'm actually really fascinated to hear other people's stories and what that's going to be, what that was like for them.
Yeah, and plus I just want to go to the convention. I want to see what everyone built.
Yeah, we met Brickanista at Bricks by the Bay. Patty Sharon we met at Bricks by the Bay.
The Parmleys, it's tough for me to say whether the Parmleys or Minifigchick and Paint Pusher were the first people we met.
It was all of I know that we met Steve Parmley over a brick picking bin, like you did back in the olden times.
That's such a social thing, right?
It's like one thing I'm definitely going to miss. So I don't know, Thunderman, if you have any input on what your building has been like. I don't know if you've been building or if you've had time.
Build?
Do you build? I know you have a lot of time, spend a lot of time saving the world. I don't really know,
Yes.
So why don't you tell us a little about a little bit about that?
Boy, I do like I like that Ninja Go stuff. I like that Jay character. He's pretty cool. I don't know why. Something with lightning. I don't know. But yeah, Ninja Go is my favorite theme.
Sorry, just because of the way it looks to the World Wide Web, I gotta say, you and Thundercat right now are starting to look a little like a Bond villain. So beware.
Just be careful.
Beware with Thundercat.
We wouldn't want you to.
Are you a good kitty or a bad kitty?
Oh no! He's mortally wounded.
I think you need to
I'm
go.
sorry.
I think you need to go
I'm
work
gonna have
out,
to go to the Thunder
Thunderman.
Cave and wish you all the best of luck.
That's okay.
All right.
My six-pack is gone too.
Oh, my six-pack has become a one. It's become one. I shall see you all later.
Oh, goodbye, Thunderman.
Heal
Never
yourself.
fear, we have your mini-me.
Yeah, we're good. Do some sit-ups.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
I
Hopefully
need
that
some more
helps.
crunches.
Yes, my 8-pack is a no pack now. Thank you to staying home. And I gotta say, Minifigchick, I get what you're saying about buying more bricks, because I've been whether it's bricks or maybe a few more goldfish crackers, I've been doing quarantine presents. I'm like, I was good today. I didn't do anything all day.
I'm actually benefiting in a weird way because this house that we moved into, we've got like trails all around it. So like walking,
cool.
hiking trails around it. So we've actually been getting out almost every single day and doing about 1.5 miles like walk as part of our routine.
Nice.
So I'm realizing I'm going to be in trouble actually when I go back to work and have to like sit at a desk all day. It's going to be really hard. And
We've added walking too. Before, like back when we were all told not to wear masks, we used to do like 45-minute walks, and now we do a little bit shorter if it's hot. But you get so much exercise, or we do, jumping back and forth across the street or off the sidewalk.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's definitely been a different experience for us.
What, building
Well,
wise?
just the whole staying home, like it created what we're doing now, right? Like this is all,
that's for sure. This didn't exist.
Like all of this came out of this. So if, I like to think that there are positive things to be able to take away from certain experiences, and this is certainly one of the more positive things for us anyway, to come out of this whole sort of like unfortunate time.
Yeah. Far and away.
Exactly. Well,
what's that?
So I know it's we're gonna do a short one today because we've got some stuff that we're doing. It's a Sunday, and I need some extra time to get ready for our lighting thing tomorrow.
Oh
now,
yeah,
I don't know.
Little demo things.
Yeah,
Richard, I meant to tell you, I was so proud of Audrey last night. We were watching Hamilton, of course, like everybody else was, I'm sure. But that was her first, like, Eric and I got to see it on like the Broadway production, but it was first time for Audrey getting to see it. Which, by the way, she was completely hooked and like was totally zoned in the entire time. But like the one comment she made through the whole thing was about the lighting.
Yay!
She's like, lighting was really good. So I was like, oh, Richard would be so proud of you.
That's so awesome, because often it's hard for lighting designers, because usually you only hear about the lighting if it's really spectacular or if people are mad. They're like, we couldn't see their faces, right?
Yeah.
Because if it's well done and it just supports the art, then it's invisible, I think. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I wanted to say too, your daughter's bucket hats are awesome.
Her bucket hats? What?
What?
Did I confuse? No, oh, you know what? No, I'm completely confusing on the web.
You're confusing me.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
What's happening?
No, it was the sound of sewing in the back room. I can't remember. I'm sorry, your daughter didn't sew bucket hats.
I was about to be surprised, like, what? She's done something productive? What?
My goodness. All right. Well, I think.
Well, on that note.
Yes.
And I've got to say, this has been one of the. This might be the wackiest stream we've had.
This is really, yeah, I don't even, like I said, I don't even know if I can return to a serious discussion after all that, which is fine because, you know, it was delightful and I haven't laughed that hard in a really long time. So thank you to Minifigchick and Thunderman for that awesome impromptu theater performance. Oh, it was Gwyneth's daughter.
Gwyneth's daughter, yes, that's right. And I don't confuse you and Gwyneth. You're two entirely different people. And Brickworm, I agree with you. I think lighting can be a character in the same way as, you know, Holly, your work. I know I'm prolonging goodbye here, but you work with textures, right? And people probably don't comment on the awesome textures a lot, but how much emotion and reality does what you do add to the, you know, to what you're doing?
Well, the nature of my department is to be invisible. You're not supposed to, like, I work in the visual effects department, so you're not really supposed to notice what we do at all. So, yeah, hopefully nobody's commenting on it.
Well, it's something
Although I did see, by the way, I did go back and scroll through comments. And I saw that Brickworm mentioned that he and his, or I don't know, they and their family watched Missing Link. So thank you for that. Hope you enjoyed it.
It's great.
It's something I had to come to terms with Flynn in my building, and he can testify. It was, you know, it wasn't easy. My work is almost always in service of other people's ideas. As a lighting designer, I try to interpret in light what a director or, you know, writer has included in their story. And in our work, I do a lot of structural work and I hide the lights and I pay attention to trusses and things that you never see. My work is invisible, and Flynn does a lot of the finish work and surface details and window treatments and characterization and figures. And being invisible it's weird as an artist to be invisible.
Yeah, in fact, I know you're going to talk about the lighting stuff tomorrow, but man, like I have such mad respect for the lighting, right? Because lighting really does like bring across so much. It just brings so much more to something, right? It just gives it that extra
like mood
quality, you know, that connects you to it, or it, you know, because it either conveys mood or it brings your attention somewhere. Like there's really a lot that lighting does for everything in our lives. So. Like when I first saw that Coraline house on set that inspired me to build it, I think the main thing that my attention was drawn to was the lighting, because like the mood of the set that it was a really dark set, and there were all these like little handmade miniature lights, you know, perfectly positioned all around it to light it in this exact, you know, very precise way that brought your attention to all these really cool details. And it was just so mind-blowing. And then, you know, after I built my house, I realized it needed lighting. So I had to figure out how to run the miniature like brick set lighting and stuff through that house. And I just kept noodling it. And then I had to figure out like how I was going to conceal the battery pack. So that was an extra thought, you know, where I had to kind of build out the base, and like I have this where you can remove a brick and just slide the battery pack up underneath the foundation and then put the brick there.
Access.
And I was setting up the light. So I ended up taking photographs of my house next to my brick built house next to the original house from the set at the museum. And we had like a Monday where the museum was closed and we were each setting up. So I was like right next to the head of our lighting team. So he was like, you know, setting up all those little lights on the practical house while I was running all the little lights through my Lego house. And we were kind of holding this conversation next to each other where I was like telling him like how much I admired his work and how like, you know, instrumental that was in inspiring me to build this house. And he was like, well, I happen to know the smaller you go, the more difficult it gets. So I have mad respect for what you're doing right now.
Oh, hooray. What a great story.
Yeah.
We had
So it
Moto
was a
popped in for a second. I was so excited to tell him about Thunderman. He's going to be really sad he missed that. I know.
Totally missed out, Moto, man.
But he ran away. So but yeah. So something I wanted to say about, and I know again we're going to get into lighting tomorrow, but it's what's interesting about it is you really can use it to call attention to something, and there's also, at least for me anyway, a fascination with because I have a fascination with miniatures, which I think we all kind of do because of what we do, but like specifically with dollhouses, like I just find them so cool, and so just like all the little tiny furniture, and it all looks so real, and then adding lighting into it like makes it like 50% more real, right? Like it just suddenly it's like, oh, and the little tiny lighting fixtures and all the little things, and I just think it brings a reality to it that you don't get with just like a static model. But then also,
like you can touch it and you could live there and you can be there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like he was saying about calling attention, or I think Holly, you were saying calling attention to it.
You nailed it, Holly, with focus and emotion. Those are the two keys. But I don't mean to cut you off.
No, we used that in. That's what we did for Treasure of the Snake Queen. Like we used light as a way to focus the audience's attention on a story, because how can when you've got something that's 4.5 feet tall and there's so much on it and you want people to focus on one thing, like how do you get people to focus on that one thing when there's so many other things to look at? Well, the lighting, and that's really what I think what's ended up in the end selling the piece overall was that ability for the audience to be able to follow everything. So
well, we used lights and music almost identically, right? Like for focus and for emotion in both cases, it was like, here's how to feel about this.
Zonker's here. Zonker, who is amazing. That's who we learned a lot of our lighting tricks from.
He also programmed the lighting and sound control software that we used for Snake Queen.
For Snake Queen, yes, he was amazing. He says that he also uses light to draw viewers in to see the details that we place inside our mocks. In a display hall, most lighting is directly overhead, casting shadows inside. Yeah,
that's where I figured it out. Like the first time, because like when I did the Coraline house, that was my first time exhibiting at a convention. So I had just kind of finished building it, like 2 days before, and wasn't really prepared. And then once I got it all set up out on the table, that's when I realized that nobody could see anything inside because of the downcast light. So it was just shadowing the whole thing, and you know how hard it is to see anything at a convention anyway. And so luckily, Rob from Brick Stuff was there at that convention. So I had bought stuff from him before, like to light up, some of my sets and stuff. So I ran over to his table and was like, I need just like a, basic like intro kit kind of thing with just a few boards and lights, and was like there at 9 o'clock at night, right, like on a Friday or Thursday, whenever the setup time was, like right up until they close, just haphazardly trying to light my mock, like on the fly. People were coming over talking to me, and I was like, I gotta fix this.
And it
did, yeah, because then and then it took me a couple more conventions to figure out, like, to put it on a turntable. There were a few other things I figured out.
Impressed by that.
Oh, look, and Moto's here. Moto, hi. How's it going?
Hey guys. Missed it.
Sorry I'm late.
You missed it. Thunderman was here. I can't believe you missed it.
Thunderman was here?
Yes. Oh, if you can turn your mic down a little bit, Michael, that would be awesome. Moto, sorry. Yes. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, you missed Thunderman. I can't believe it. I think you would have been really excited. It was pretty cool. Oh, Jesse's Brick Galaxy is here. How's it going? Aubrey, I don't know if we saw you earlier, but hi. And Zerkino is here. Kim.
And Minifigchick.
And Brickworm is here. Wow, lots of people coming in and out. I love that. It's so awesome.
Well, now,
so we were talking about we're talking about lighting, because we're going to do this lighting workshop tomorrow. Moto, first of all, yes, Thunderman was here and it was amazing, and I can't believe you missed it.
That's too bad.
I know you're going to have to go back and watch the stream, because
yeah.
it was pretty impressive, I got to say.
Oh, there's a minifig. There's a minifig Thunderman.
And he swooshes pretty much like the real Thunderman.
Yeah, I'm gonna need one of those. Yeah, I might have to gift one of those to somebody.
Oh, you know what? I'm wondering.
That might be happening.
Well, we do know somebody that prints on bricks, so I wonder if we couldn't, we should put together some Thunderman minifigs. We could get some legs printed up and put together some Thunderman minifigs, and I think that would be awesome. I would be so into that.
Well, I have to tell you, I have a lot of these parts now because.
Yay! I'm gonna have to.
But printed would be awesome. I mean, these are official Lego stickers that we just trimmed down.
Nice.
We paint pusher.
That is some tiny work you did.
Yeah. So if we could get Dan to print them, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that looks incredible.
Yeah, I'm sure we could probably arrange that.
I think we can.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get Tony Danza to autograph one.
Well,
that
we would
be
have
awesome.
to keep that one. We'd have to keep that one. That would be amazing. Well, two of them. One for Vincent and one for us.
Was Tony Danza here as Thunderman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, I'll say this: he looks a lot like Tony
really
Danza.
Missed it.
Oh, that's too bad.
Who's the boss? Period. Right.
I always wondered who the boss was.
You didn't know when you saw that?
Oh, I mean, it could have been either of them.
From Taxi. Wasn't he on Taxi?
As did we all.
Right.
Yes.
Yep. Wow.
Oh, so Minifig Nick says, is Thunderman the stream's official mascot? No, Logan is the mascot, and I think Thunderman is.
He might be the official superhero.
Thunderman is our hype man.
Yeah, he's like the superhero meme of Tricky Lug. Wait, what was it that you said, Holly?
Oh, I said he's our hype man.
Hype, hype, hype! We need an animation of Thunderman flying across for one of our things.
Well, I'm gonna go back to the video from today, and I'm gonna pull a screenshot of Thunderman's visit, and I'm gonna put it on our refrigerator next to Thunderman. The original Thunderman.
Oh, you have the original there. That's fantastic.
So I noticed that there's actually a little bit of debate going on. So Hooded One was saying that they don't like the lights in their models, and that it takes it from. Interestingly, it says takes it from being a toy to being to model building, and I think that's an interesting distinction to make between that, because to me it's both. Although I really see it more as an art supply. More than anything else, Lego in general.
The only problem with lights that I have found is that it does interfere with it can interfere with maybe how if it was a play set, it'd be kind of hard to play with it sometimes, depending on if you have doors that need to move. Like I noticed in my Coraline house, I had to be very conscious of where the hinges were. And it was supposed to be kind of modular, where you could take off the top and look down, play with it from a top-down view, like a modular building. But since all the lights and stuff are running through it, it's not really super easy to do that. You have to disconnect the lights first before you can really do that. So I mean, it could kind of interfere with ability. If you don't have some some are magnetic, where they have magnetic connections that make it a little bit easier. So I did that with the basement. I put a magnetic connection in the basement, so you can just put the whole top on, and then there's a little contact plate there that allows it to light up. But yeah, I mean, it's just a different objective. We've talked about that before, the objectives of what you're trying to build, whether it's for display or both or either. I mean, they essentially are model kits. That's what they're intended to be.
Well, I've thought a lot about. Sorry, Flynn.
No, go ahead.
I've thought a lot about frame making with art, right? Like when someone comes in cold to your work. Now we have kind of a captive audience, right? Like people at conventions or who go to a website to look at Lego pictures already know what they're getting in a sense. But as artists, I think we need to frame things and let people know what to expect. Is this a horror movie? Is this a fairy tale? Is this a replica of a tank? is this, you know, a dollhouse that we're going to have an adventure in? And I think I can see the point where lighting leads people to believe it's more of either a replica, you know, like it guides people in how to perceive it initially.
Well, I'm seeing, I'm like keyed into the chat here, and I'm seeing that we're sort of like defining it a little more, and Kim is saying that she has specific sets that are display sets, and then others are play sets. And then Brickanista said, lights take away the playability. I like the lights for architecture sets. I'm on the fence about putting lights on the other sets. I just wanted to clarify, like, our the thing that we're going to do tomorrow is not necessarily about lighting a set. I mean, we are going to light a set because that's what we have, and it's big, and we can show how. But it's really just more of a vehicle to show how to lighting. I think where we're coming from with it is how to light it either for a photograph, and I don't mean like photography lights. I just mean lighting the interior, like practical lighting of the model. Or for mocks at conventions, not necessarily like I've seen the lighting kit for the Disney castle, and while I think it's pretty, it's probably not something that I would do for, I don't know why, but yeah, that's just, I think of it more in mocks than I do in sets.
Yeah, I would love to light some of my mocks, but that's the way I look at it, is kind of the lighting. If I was to do lighting, it'd be very custom, it'd be for a mock, whereas the sets are, I mean, they're there to be played with. They're more the toy aspect.
Yep.
I think a really good example that I saw at Bricks Cascade was Blair Archer's wearable sort of xenomorph helmet thing, and it was lit with not little tiny Lego lights. It was lit with bright UV LEDs, and it was an intrinsic part of the piece, right? Rather than just sort of saying, "Oh, I'd like people to see it better," and adding it on. You know, and I don't mean, and I'm not referring to what you just said, Holly. I have added lights to pieces for focus afterwards. I'm just saying we use lights, you know, as part of our toolkit. And
it's just another tool, exactly. Like, you know, for the Disney castle, for me, like I have the lighting kit for it because for me, again, like the impression I have in my mind from my own experience with the Disney castle, 75% of that is the lighting. Like that's what makes it. That's what kind of sells it and gives it that like, oh, magical quality is the lighting. So of course I had to have the light. I don't actually have that many lighting kits, but that's one that I did have to have it for because I was like, well, it's not the Disney castle unless it's like all lit up, like magically lit up.
I do look at it like you kind of want to work with what you like and what you find joy in. So for example, like I like putting stickers on my stuff. Some people hate stickers. So some people might do lighting instead of stickers, or I've spray painted pieces before because they didn't come in a certain color, but I've done it sparingly, but I've done it, you know?
Yeah, it just depends on the objective, and people have different objectives of what they're building and why. So of course it makes sense that some people would want to light them, and sometimes the lights would just get in the way.
Yeah, well, and I think that's a distinction too. Like if you're playing,
or like me, I don't know how to do it, so that's why I'm looking forward to a tutorial on Monday.
Yeah,
I would love to have that tool. I just don't know how to do it.
Yeah, I think there's, you know, I probably saying the Disney castle was a terrible example. I just used it because that's the one I've seen online before. And I'm not saying that I would never light up a set. I'm just saying like that's when I think of lighting models, I don't think of lighting sets. I think of lighting our mocks to give a specific feeling or
just,
look
not
or
because
whatever.
it's better or worse. Just that's just what we've done.
I mean, I know that like when we did our this was again a good example of calling attention to something. Is we had this was California Dreamin', and we had a surfer on a wave like in the curl, and he was on his little surfboard, and you couldn't see him because the lights from the convention were going to come right down. So Richard like built a tiny spotlight in the curl that like pointed right at him and had like a little blue put a blue transparent dot on the end of it, so it lit him up blue. It was great. It was really cool, and I think that many more people I think it's many more people saw it because of that.
MJ's asking about those red light bricks, man. I find those almost completely useless. I haven't really figured out a way to like keep them pressed, and I imagine the batteries probably wouldn't last really long on them if you did, and they just
They don't last at all. We had there was a
No, my son left one on overnight. It was toast. I had to open it up, unscrew it, put it back in.
There was a bin full of them
on Lego Masters,
Lego Masters, and we used it in our fairy tale piece.
Yep,
right?
Our movie challenge mock.
In the movie challenge, it had a little treasure box, that was open, and we had 6 of them in there because there were bright movie lights, and we wanted it to be bright enough. And it was great for about 30 minutes, and then
and then it was
half as bright, and then gone. I think they're meant for momentary use.
Well, we also like had to leave them on for a really long time, and I think we ended up replacing them like 3 different times just because everything takes forever on a TV show, and they're like, oh, okay, and now we're gonna do the judging, and like 4 hours later, and and I was like, oh god, I gotta replace these. And I don't know, because of all of the big lights in the set in the studio, that did really make a difference in being able to light the pieces, because they wanted us to. They had the pieces there, the lights there that they wanted us to use, but you couldn't see any of them. I think the only time I remember seeing lights is when being able to see the lights was Mel and Germain's
as the best
Sphinx, and it was the best use of the lights, I think, in the whole from the whole season. Absolutely.
And the eyes lit up.
The eyes lit up, and you could really see it, and it was so cool.
Yeah, it's like the cover functions lights too. Like those were so limited. Like they were really only meant to be like train headlights or car headlights or something. It was. You know what I'm talking about? The power functions one. It was the strip, just the 2 giant lights at the end.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. Brickanista mentions that Boone and Mark's computer had the lights too. That was the other one. I think, yes, those are the 2. Those are like the 2 best uses of lights in the,
But the computer probably worked really well, because once he tested it, it's just hitting the lights and flickering them off. And so he powers it off, and then it doesn't wear the batteries down, remember? Because they're not.
You mean his thing that blinked the lights?
Yeah,
I thought that was so clever.
I forgot about that.
That's so.
It was the cam-driven one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's so funny that we're getting a total like preview of lights, an overview of lights before tomorrow's class. That's awesome.
We can dive a little deeper.
Yeah,
it's always hard for me, especially on Mondays. Like Mondays are so busy. Like I know that's an episode I really want to watch, but I'm probably not going to be able to participate in much of that. So this is kind of my interjection now.
Yeah, you're such a sweet talker with all of your talk about the power of light. In art and all that.
Oh, I'm a big believer though. I thought that's what I was gonna do when I went into visual effects and got into CG stuff. I thought I wanted to be a lighter, because that's what I pay most attention to, especially in fine art. That was always my thing. Was like, I got heavy into like shading and where the light source was and what the mood was. Like I always put a lot of attention on lighting, and it's just something kind of like my daughter. It's just something I notice when I'm watching things. So yeah, I thought that's what I was going to do. And I got more into texturing, which is not far off. I do shading. I still do like in visual effect or in CG shading, which is still light responsive. It's kind of the same, but different. I don't get to actually place the lights, but that's fine.
Well, I'm imagining, gosh, like what a, So the one thing about lighting, I found lighting models for photos specifically, and I'm not talking about now internal lighting. I'm talking about, I got to set up my 3 lights, is the reflections on minifigure heads. It is the hardest part of lighting a model for a photograph. I wrestle with it.
Well, yes.
Well, but still, we have diffusion on ours, and it still, for whatever reason, wants to leave a nice big white line right down the middle.
Yeah. Well, we're actually going to do 2 other how-tos. I'll do another one on lighting lighting mocks for photography. And then I think we should do another one on photographing mocks. And I would love for that to be a round table too, because people have so many different ways that they do that.
Well, that would be one I would want Minifigchick in on, because that's what he does. He photographs minifigures all the time, and I'm sure he has a really great, probably has some great tips. And TrickyBricks is here. Yeah, he knows a lot about photographing minifigures.
There you go.
So you need to be on. You need to be on that discussion too. That would be fun. Oh, but actually, speaking of upcoming episodes, can I say, Holly, or is it a lock in yet?
I mean, I got a guess. So
Okay, good. Next week, we are going to have the awesome Jake Sadovich on the show, who has designed one of my favorite Lego ideas sets, the ship in a bottle. Moto's
we
crumbling.
may need Thunderman.
I know Thunderman is going to have to come and rescue Moto.
Indeed. Yeah, Jake's amazing.
Holly and Jake are going to talk about what it's like having a model up on Lego Ideas and what it takes to make it happen, and what happens after you get to that 10,000 mark. I know you can't talk specifics about that part, like what comes after, but I know that a lot of people would be interested to know like what exactly that's like. And Jake also has another model up on Ideas now, and we've talked about it on the show before, but it's been a while, and that is the little car, the pedal car.
Oh yeah,
it is outrageous.
It's so
like
fun.
If you haven't seen it, you should definitely go check it out. But I think that would be that's going to be a fun show, fun subject. There may even be another person or two joining us to talk about that. Also, this Thursday.
I know, this is what a crazy week.
Thursday, on the show, we are having Matthew Ashton, the Vice President of Design at Lego, the creator of Unikitty, and judge on the UK version of Lego Masters. He is Brickmaster Amy and Brickmaster Jamie's boss, basically. Justin's boss too, right, Holly? I mean, he's the vice president of design. Yeah. He's like everybody's boss, pretty much. So yeah, really great, nice guy, and looking forward to having him on. And we are taking questions ahead of time. We're absolutely taking questions ahead of time. So please email any questions that you have to me, Flynn at TrickyBricks.com, and Flynn is with 2 N's and a Y. But as you can see under my picture. But anyway, Flynn at TrickyBricks.com. So please send any questions that you have. Minifigchick put a link to the pedal car.
Yeah.
And then, something.
Joe Marbella says so many creative guests.
I know, we're lucking out.
I'm so excited.
We're very fortunate. We have our talented regular guests, and we get even more talented other guests on as well.
Not compared to those guys. Jake is like...
Oh, Moto, don't even.
Well, it's not a contest.
Do you know? Yeah. Okay.
It's not a contest, it's a challenge.
No.
Yeah. So, and speaking of challenge, our Fun in the Sun challenge, if I didn't mention it earlier, we have a new way that we're going to be collecting people's information for the slideshow. So instead of emailing, if you have a Google account,
if you do,
you have to have a Google account to access it, because that's the way it is. You can I've made a Google form. I've posted the link to it in the community page on our TrickyBricks YouTube page. And you can go there, you can put your name in, your description, and upload the photo, and it will make its way to us, and it'll really help streamline our process in getting the whole slideshow together, because it's quite it can be quite a chore.
And we're hoping more and more people are going to participate too, so it's great to have that streamlined process. But if you don't have a Google account, don't worry about it.
You can still email us.
Just email it to us. It's not a requirement for participating.
So I got to ask, is everybody on screen right now going to be submitting something?
Probably.
Yes, no, maybe?
We'll try.
No, realistically, I haven't been building for about 3 weeks. I took too long of a break, but I'm going to try to get that wolf done. That's going to be my goal, I think.
Oh, well, that seems like a super fair trade.
Oh, yeah, that's
we'll see how many, if it goes like last, we'll see how many conference calls I have, because that's when I got my building in last week.
So can I just say that last Friday's the Street Sweeper Rebrick Challenge, I think, is by far the most amazing one that we've done. And I know, I say it every time, but they really do just keep getting better and better and better. And we had over 40 entries. And I was really, I gotta say, I was really surprised. I was really excited by that. And I think we'll definitely be doing more of those in the future, because I think that was
I normally don't participate. I have, just doing the larger builds for me, trying to keep on track. But for that one, it was nice and easy just during one of your streams to kind of open the set and play with the bits for about an hour and have something done and then photograph it. It was nice and easy.
Size really helped
because you already had the parts. You knew what parts you were going to work with. So same thing. I could sit, during a conference call, have the box in front of me and could noodle with it. Whereas like when I think about mocks, then it's like almost overwhelming to have to go through all the parts, and like I really need the time and the focus. That's what we were talking about earlier. Is it's really hard to get that. Those are in limited supply right now. So we'll
do another Rebrick challenge.
We definitely will. And I gotta
That'd be awesome.
And plus, the other part of that too was that's why Vincent did his, because I basically bought 2 of those sets and gave one to Vincent, so that kept him occupied. It was like, okay, here, build something with these bricks, and then I had the same thing, and it was like a side-by-side activity. So it gave us something to do about it being a distraction. So that worked great. Thank you.
Well, I think it's interesting to hear you say that, because my experience was very different. I had a very difficult time because I work the other way. We draw a picture or look up reference photos or. Hey Moto, you're not muted.
Oops.
No, but I was just saying, I work in the other direction. I know in my head what the final thing is going to look like, and then I build from there. And going from just pieces on a table to try to figure out without an already end goal in mind, I found extremely difficult.
It was hard for me too. I don't work that way either. So yeah, that was a challenging one. That's why I made my son do his first. I was like, here, you build something. Build.
It is funny, Flynn and I build so differently. We come up with our concept and sort of nail in our colors and stuff pretty early on, but then I work from the inside out. And I know that he's on board when he has this eureka moment and starts laughing, then I know he has that vision in his head. And then it's chipping that out of the rock.
Yeah. Yeah, so I had a really hard time with that. So it was interesting to hear that, because I felt completely.
You built 4 models, right, and weren't really happy
and hated all of them. Yes, and took them all apart.
I did too, but that's fine.
I could not. It just wouldn't connect for me. It was not happening. And we all have different styles and different ways we build, and there's some people who build really, really fast, and some people who are more, very meticulous about every little detail. But that is, I found it very difficult.
It was difficult for me too, because I had an idea of what I wanted to make, and then I couldn't make it because I didn't have the parts there.
Yeah, I know. Don't you hate that?
I was like, oh, if I just had one more connection piece, I could make this work. So also, what I was trying to make was, I want my first initial thought when I looked at the pieces, I wanted to make a toilet with a scrub brush. Was what I wanted. My first thought.
That would have been awesome.
Enough straight pieces together to make a handle for the scrub brush, and so the whole thing was shot. I was like, darn, if I just had that one, if I could use that one piece that I know I have.
Well,
the Technic connector, if you could have jammed it in the end of the thing, it would have.
But the only long pieces I had was a shovel and a broom that would make a long enough straight handle to be the same ratio of that little scrubby bit, and it there wasn't really. It wasn't happening.
I think it was such a.
The toilet was missing a connection piece to make it go straight and then out. I don't remember. I was at the beach. I wasn't really even paying attention.
It was such a smart set. I think it was hard, and we were talking about new challenges, and I think a couple of them, people have made amazing things, and I think people's have their chops up from building regularly, so I think we're going to try and make them harder.
Yeah, well, we have it. So we do have something in mind for next week. So I don't want to go into that now because I don't want to confuse everyone.
Sure.
But we have kind of we're doing something we've kind of done before, but with a twist this time. But it's not going to be like a Lego Masters twist. We're not going to tell you on Wednesday.
Your Lego Master twist at the Now you
Yeah,
have 2
on
more
Wednesday
hours
we'll
to
be
go
like, oh,
remake
and
your-
by the way, you have to make 7 more models out of whatever you made. No, we're not going to do that.
No, we try
I
to
have to
keep
incorporate
stress.
this one piece.
That'd be funny. You'd be like, okay, now that we're wrapping up the Thursday stream, you have until 5 p.m. to do this extra twist and get it all submitted.
We're trying to keep stress low.
No,
around
it's
here.
casual.
You notice? Well, I gotta say that like the the hardest part about the twists on Lego Masters was that you had already spent so much time creating something to look exactly like you wanted it to look.
Just wrench it out of your soul.
Yeah, like I think, and I know I've mentioned this before, but I think I always think of our movie mashup challenge, where I was so incredibly happy with the first version of it, which you never saw on the show.
No, it was based on
beautiful.
like Renaissance paintings, and we loved the composition and the flow of it, and the story was perfect. And then they were like, okay, now it's all mean and
yeah. Oh, hey, Mel is here. Iceberg Bricks. Hey, Mel, how's it going?
Hey, Mel.
Welcome.
Hello, Mel.
Always good to see you.
Okay, the twist wasn't making it mean, but basically we had to have a lot more like adventurous, clashing moment than we had originally imagined.
Yeah,
in
that
the
was
piece.
dumb. That twist did not work because it just felt like exactly what it was that everybody had a pretty solid concept, and then it felt like this like designed by committee effect to like have to cram other stuff in there just to like whatever. Yeah. You guys were not alone in that.
I wish that they had featured the first version, because it almost now it doesn't exist, right? There's a couple of frames of it.
Well, I think but then I think like a challenge that worked way better was the Mega City Challenge.
Well, for us, for sure.
Well, no, but still, like you didn't have to alter what you made that much to make it work, right? Like you were basically adding things on
story,
rather than complete. So like with the movie mashup, it was like you just like threw a curveball into the middle of it, and like now it has to be something completely different. And it was, but these ones where you just more have to like just enhance what you've done, I personally, and of course, yes, it helped us. It definitely helped us in that particular challenge. But yeah, those were they were tough. They were tough for sure.
Yeah, they know how to make it hard.
Well, none of the challenges are easy. If they were, it wouldn't be a Lego Masters show. I mean, these things are designed to really push the limits of what you can build.
Well,
Yeah,
the
problem with that movie thing was though is that some things go better together than others. So it wasn't gonna.
Oh yeah, I'm not disagreeing. I'm saying in general, every challenge is not as straightforward. Like do this thing. This is the competition is extremely difficult across every challenge.
They have to add the twists in there for TV entertainment.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I'm not like mad that they did the twists. I just think that some of them worked better than others as far as what the audience could see.
The movie theme twist I was pretty mad about, because I was like, that's so dumb. Of course those two things are going to go together, and those two things aren't going to go together. That's just
There certainly was an element of luck on the show too. Like it was a matter of luck every episode. Whether we had a table that was very close to the build room or one that was very far away, that made a huge amount. And you know what? I'm a game player. We play board games. I like the game aspect of it. But when you're in the thick of it and you're living it like 24/7,
not with cameras and lights and countdowns
and people talking to you and a red siren light coming on, turning everything like gray.
Well, and on top of everything else, when 13 cameras are pointed at you, you're like trying not to fart, right? Like you're on national television.
I think you broke Flynn.
Well, Flynn was already broken.
Thunderman broke me. That happened at like 10:05, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe should we wrap this up? We said
Yeah.
I'm so glad we had a chance to talk more after we said we wanted to go.
Let's see. Big Screen Bird, did you all get my email for the contest entry? I will look. I have to say that on, we do the show on Fridays and the slideshow, and then we have off on Saturdays, and I kind of don't do anything for the stream on Saturdays. That's like my one day that I kind of take off to not do anything related to the stream. So, and that includes checking emails and all that kind of stuff, because my goodness, so many email
And
accounts.
that's a good thing. Don't stop taking that break. You need the time, man.
Yeah. Stop sending emails. We love all of that. But
Yeah.
we're going to show people stuff on Monday, right?
Yeah.
At the start of the episode.
Yes. So yeah.
Stream.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not episodes.
Stream episodes. I love how Maddie and Maddie and Jimmy did their show as like seasons. So they were like, okay, we're taking a break now. End of season 1. And so they got to like take off as many times. But for the Street Sweeper, I will look for it, Big Screen Bird. I'll take a look. I think it's absolutely, you have to have time off, which is why, of course, we will no longer be broadcasting on Thursdays after next week.
After the highlight reel and amazing thing.
We're leaving Thursdays on a high note.
Yeah, absolutely. With Matthew, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Yes, it was a. Today will go down as one of the kookier streams in Tricky. Although, who knows what will happen in the future. I have a feeling Thunderman will be making a return.
So sorry I missed that. Sounds like it was cool.
I know, you missed it. He's very well built, I gotta say.
Until that tragic accident.
Until it's the tragic accident.
Thunderman had an accident, huh?
Yeah, Thundercat had a swipe, and we went from a 6-pack to a 1-pack. But, I think he'll be able to get it back on. I think he'll be able to get it back together.
He rolled a -5 on strength.
Yeah.
He went from like a 6-pack to a growler or a keg or something.
He's going to be in PT for a while. I don't know when we're going to see him again.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And so
stay tuned, everyone out there, the people who comment and the ones who don't, because we want to bring you lots of like in-depth Lego content and great discussions and how-tos and some completely absurd laughter too.
Well,
so it's going to get wacky as the summer goes on. Beware.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're really excited. We've got some things planned, some new stuff. I'm working on a couple new little animations, and we've got some new features that we're talking about.
And awesome guests. Hopefully, right? Like all woven together. Hopefully a lot of really cool content for fans of Lego, as well as a happy place to hang out. Right?
Yeah.
I hope you don't get sick of me saying that, because I like the community we've all created together.
Yeah, this has been, I know we do mention it frequently, but it really is, all of our guests here and everybody in the chat and who's watching that make this what it is. So thanks again to everybody for making another awesome Sunday chat.
Yay! And Lego.
And I'm going to have to go lay down and rest my stomach because I laughed so hard. I think I may have hurt myself. I might have a 6-pack from laughing so hard, actually, at this point.
I think so.
Flynn might have ruptured his spleen.
I may have. I'm going to have to go check that out.
Well, we'll have to find where a spleen is first.
Yeah, you have to look it.
I'll look it up. I'll Google it. It's fine.
Here.
Yeah, I can use my camera phone to find it. But anyway, thanks everybody for joining us. We will be here tomorrow at 10 o'clock with our lighting workshop, which is going to be really fun.
Yep. So, how to light your mock.
Yes, and thank you Minifigchick and Holly and Moto, and thank you Thunderman wherever you are.
Thank you Thunderman.
For coming to visit, and have a good rest of your weekend, and don't forget to stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands, wear your mask, and we will see you all next time. Bye everyone.
Bye.
Yes?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Thunderman nearly sweated to death. That was moderately bad, but it was like the cardboard mask. I couldn't see that well, but then I had 3 layers on in some cases, and then I had 4 studio lights in the garage outside. And it doesn't have any AC or anything.